Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us here. We're going to do a live update for you for this severe weather threat that we have for the Kansas City area. This is for kind of tonight and into Tuesday. So I'm Chief Meteorologist Luke Dorris. Thanks for joining us here. We're going to walk through this event. I think for Kansas City, this is going to be some scattered storms with a chance for a few severe storms. And to our areas east, this could be a bigger threat. So we'll walk through this all. All right, so let me pull up my graphic system, and there we go. So this is what we have. This is the nuts and bolts, kind of a complicated, long-lived event here where tonight there could be a few storms around. So I have a first warn for tonight just to let you know. These are probably garden variety, just average thunderstorms. I don't see much of a severe risk for the overnight hours. The main event for the metro is going to be your Tuesday morning. So you're thinking about your commute, you're thinking about the kids at the bus stop. Good chance for storms. Some of them could be strong to severe. We get into the afternoon, and that storm risk is going to slide to the east, but it will be higher. So we continue with that severe risk there. The first warn will continue, and again, might even be greater. So if you get nothing else, just know this is how your morning looks. This is your Tuesday morning. First warns across the board. The storm timeline for Kansas City is roughly 6 in the morning until noon. And any of these in here have a chance to produce some hail and some high winds. Temperatures will be in the 60s. It's a warm morning. It's another pretty warm day. We'll be in the 70s for the afternoon. But you might look at that and think, rain. I'll bring my umbrella, just have that ready. It's going to be windy. I think you're going to be fighting that wind. So maybe like a rain jacket would be better if you can do it. Here's what we have on the radar. This is live as of 12 after 7. So this is 12 after 7 on Monday. We already have a couple storms out there. The atmosphere is not yet conditioned to do anything much or anything strong. So it's going to take something that we call a dry line, which is out over in Kansas. That's going to slide east through the night. It's kind of like a front. It's a separation between really moist air and really dry air, and it can pop storms up and give them a little extra juice. And on top of that, we've got this really strong upper-level jet that's going to come through. All of those ingredients really come together tonight, late tonight, and tomorrow morning, and into tomorrow afternoon. So what we're seeing here is just garden variety storms. So you see them in the Lawrence area. We've had a couple of them around Olathe and Paola. Let me pull the view out here a bit. You can see it's still mainly to our west and just is not a whole lot yet. So that's just what's going to be sliding our way. So here's forecast track for tonight. Patchy showers, probably have some rumbles of thunder. This is midnight tonight, what radar may look like by then. But watch what happens by tomorrow morning, as it's got a different look to it, all right? It's going to be brighter colors, stronger storms. I think you'll get the idea. There's 8 o'clock in the morning. Now look around Olathe. You see how it's got that kind of bright pink shade in it? That's our computer forecast, our models telling us, hey, that could be strong enough to make some hail and within that 60-mile-per-hour wind, something like that. I don't see a high-end severe risk for tomorrow morning, but the first one is there. Scattered storms around. I don't think everybody sees storms tomorrow. They are kind of patchy and scattered, but they could be a little punchy, and they'll be around till about noon. This is what radar may look like by 11 or so. If you can see to the north, I can't adjust this map the way it currently is, but up into Iowa, those storms could really be rocking. They're much more widespread. For us, we're on that bottom tail. Storms around, could be a few of them on the strong side. Now, let's look at the severe risk. You see the yellow, all right? This is for Tuesday morning. This includes Kansas City, the metro, and everybody that's in yellow. So you're looking at St. Joe and down 49. That's a level 2 out of 5 risk. And what that essentially means is you could have hail up to an inch, inch and a quarter. You could have some 60-mile-per-hour winds. That would only be in the core of the strongest cell. Now, I mentioned the afternoon threat. The severe threat for Kansas City is going to be done by about 1 o'clock. The dry line that I mentioned, that thing that is going to allow the storms to be strong, it will sweep through Kansas City. Our humidity will drop. You'll probably notice when it passes by. But to our east, they're still in that environment that's going to be favorable. So I'm talking to you in Bethany and Chillicothe and Marshall. You're in a level 3 out of 5 risk. It's a higher risk. Now, this is kind of iffy if we're going to see storms really get going here or not. What I mean by that is if we have a morning round that goes to the east and just takes its time dawdling through, that will take some of the punch out of the atmosphere. We'd have clouds lingering, you'd have showers. But if they clear out soon enough, and they may, then the sun pops out and the atmosphere can really become unstable, and now you get all the ingredients coming together. And those are the storms that we would have to watch if they can form, because if they do, they could produce very large hail. We'd be talking greater than 2 inches. 70-plus mile-per-hour winds, damaging winds, and there would be a higher tornado risk there. We could see storms want to rotate, and you can see that here on our forecast track. Look up around Bethany and Chillicothe. That storm would be all by itself. It's what we call a supercell. And those are the ones that want to rotate. Those are the strongest, or the granddaddy of all thunderstorms. And they're the ones that bring the highest threat. So if we can get those supercells to form, which we don't want to happen, but you see how that line is to the east already? And then that one or two cells by themselves form. Those are the ones that we're really going to be tracking closely. But again, it's iffy if they get going. It's only about a 2 or 3 hour window for those of you in the northeast part of our coverage area to get those. By about 4 or 5, they're going to be gone. And then the severe risk is done for everybody that can see us on TV in the KCTV 5 coverage area. Now, we may still have some thunderstorms. You can see how they're real patchy. They may come back in the evening, but the severe risk would be gone by then. So here's your next 24 hours. This is specific to the Kansas City Metro. 8 o'clock tonight. One of those patchy showers that I showed you on radar, it could still be around. 2 o'clock in the morning, probably not a whole lot. You may hear a rumble of thunder overnight while you're sleeping. Main events tomorrow morning. There's 8 a.m., and it's a 50% chance. Again, I'm not guaranteeing that everybody's going to be just locked into thunderstorms tomorrow morning, but they will at least be in the area, and you have a decent chance of running into one. 2 o'clock, severe threats done. Look at your rain chances, down to 20%. It will be really windy tomorrow, away from the thunderstorms. We'll be in the mid-70s. It'll be warm. We'll have the sun pop out in the afternoon. Maybe some patchy non-severe showers or thunderstorms. As we go later, there's 8 o'clock. We're at 73. Rain chances at 30%. Look at your wind, though. I mean, especially in the afternoon. The morning will be breezy, but the afternoon, 40, 45, maybe 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts. It'll really be cranking tomorrow afternoon. So just want you to know that. This is what we have right now. This is, again, 7:17 on our Monday. We're at 79. Feels like 81. That humidity, it kind of feels, it's got a spring, summery feel to it. Feels like storms could be moving in. Southeast winds kind of breezy. Temperatures and the cloud cover across the area that you can see from our Etna First Warm Weather Cam. These 80s are going to be long gone before too long. So if you like warm weather, then enjoy it while it lasts, all right? So here's our lows tonight. Low temperatures in the mid-60s. Tomorrow morning, just like this morning, really warm. Your breeze is already going pretty good, about 15 to 25 miles per hour. Your afternoon, really rocking with the breeze. We'll go to the mid-70s tomorrow. It'll be about 5-ish degrees cooler than today because we have those morning showers. But then a front will come through, and here's your 7-day, and temperatures will start to stair-step their way down. Now, there's actually 2 fronts here. Wednesday, 70, lighter winds, sunshine. Wednesday looks good. Thursday, here comes our next front, and that one has a chance for showers. It's mainly to our south, and we'll go down to the low 60s, and then we're dry as we go to Friday and your weekend, but it's 50s. We were in the 80s this past weekend, and now we're going to go back into the 50s. So if you like cool weather, you're going to like that. Maybe it was too hot for you this weekend. It was pretty toasty. So that's the breakdown. I'm going to answer some Facebook questions. If you have any questions, I've got the stream right here. I'll see them if they pop up. I can't get everybody, but I'll try to answer your questions. But I'll go through this one more time. And if you're just joining us, it's about 18 after 7, giving you the update with this severe threat, the storm threat that's moving through overnight tonight and into Tuesday. And we have first warns. Just want to get you the early heads up how this may impact you. The main event for Kansas City is going to be the morning commute. So tonight, some storms possible. I don't see a big severe risk. Tomorrow morning, there's a chance that we could see a strong storm or two. I don't think that one's going to be widespread. Everybody gets severe weather. And in the afternoon, they move to the east. The storms will. We'll continue with the first warn there. The severe risk for the Kansas City Metro will drop off, but to our east, it's got our attention for tomorrow if the storms do get going. So one more time at your morning shot. This will be the main show for us. Scattered storms around all morning long. First warns all morning long. And some of these could be locally kind of heavy rain. Could have some hail, could have some gusty winds in there. So your morning commute might be impacted by that a little bit. Here's another look at the Doppler radar right now and patchy showers. And you see the lightning strikes in there. So some of these are producing, lightning, but they're not strong. This is just regular old stuff for tonight. Spring thunderstorms, no big deal. We'll probably have that, again, up until about midnight, something like that, but it's nothing widespread. Atmosphere is still trying to get charged up as we look ahead to tomorrow. And you can see that here on the forecast track. This is really good weather data to look at. This stuff updates constantly. It takes what the radar is doing currently and brings that into the computer forecast and extrapolates all that out and gives us a great picture of what we can expect to deal with. So overnight, there's not really much of a severe risk. I won't say zero, but it's pretty low. It's probably just showers and a few stray thunderstorms. Here's tomorrow. This is 8 o'clock in the morning. We could see them an hour or two earlier than that. Sometimes these speed up a little bit, But storms are around. They're scattered, but they'll at least be in your area. And some of these, I'm thinking probably just a few, could have enough energy to be on the stronger side. And it'll be around till about noon. This is 11 o'clock in the morning. The core of this is likely to the north. You can kind of see behind where that banner says forecast track. There's a whole bunch going on. If you're up closer to the Iowa border, if you're past into Iowa, that's where I think it could really be problematic in the morning. For us, we're more on the patchy side, all right? So this is a risk, though, so it's a level 2 out of 5. With hail, we could see some, quarter-size hail and winds to 60 miles per hour. And then the afternoon, this again is the iffy one. If these go, which depends on how quickly the storms from the morning move along. If they do move along fast enough and the sun comes out, atmosphere could get really testy, and these could be pretty angry storms. So very large hail, much higher wind threat there, 70-plus mile per hour wind threat, and the tornado risk there too would certainly go up. So Bethany, Chillicothe, everybody that's in the orange, we're talking north central, northeast Missouri, southeast portions of Iowa, that even goes into Illinois. That's for the afternoon. And you can see that here on the forecast track with this one storm. See this one that's up here between Bethany and Chillicothe? We don't know where that one would be. But if it did get going, that would be the strongest type of storm called a supercell. They're there all by themselves. The supercells by definition rotate, so it's a rotating storm. And because it rotates, they can produce tornadoes. Doesn't mean that they will. It means that they can. So there is that threat. And they're also the ones that make the highest hail and the biggest hail and the highest winds. So if you look, you'll see that main line. That's our morning line. I wish I could draw on this for you, but if you look just east, kind of where this box is that has my face in it, that's our morning round that we get in Kansas City. It all depends on how quickly that thing moves out. If it lingers longer, we won't have a big severe risk for those of you in Bethany and Chillicothe. In Kansas City, we're done with the severe threat by noon. But if is the thing. If it does do what this computer is showing, then we'll have to watch those storms very closely. They could be on the dangerous side. By about 5 o'clock, everybody's done with the severe threat. Could still have some storms around tomorrow evening, but they'd be isolated and nothing to worry about. So next 24 hours look like this. The evening, we have what I showed you on radar, just a couple showers around, maybe a few claps of thunder. That continues overnight. Here comes the stronger storms, more widespread by the morning. That's the main show for the metro. The main show east will be in the afternoon, but we'll be winding down by then in Kansas City. 20% rain chance by 2 o'clock, but here comes the winds. The winds are just going to be punchy tomorrow. Let's see here. I'll show you these gusts, 45, maybe 50 mile per hour winds. Here's the morning, right there about 30, 35. 30, 35 is breezy, but look at that Richmond. See that Richmond number pop up? That's away from storms. So just even without the storms around, they'll be gone by then in Kansas City, but it'll be awfully, awfully gusty. Okay, so 70s right now. It is super warm. I love it. Humid, feels very spring, summery, and a little cloudy today, but our weekend, we were in the 80s all weekend long, low and mid 80s. We still have that now. This is the end of the line for the really warm stuff. It'll be a gradual drop, but we are going to drop and cool things down. Tonight, though, lows mid-60s, mid to upper 60s. It's super warm for tonight. That's our normal high temperature at 65. And then tomorrow afternoon, still on the warm side. It's only going to be cooler tomorrow because of the clouds and the showers that will be around. But still a warm day at 76. Look at that gust, 45. So here's your 7-day forecast, and then we'll answer some Facebook questions. 70 on Wednesday. Storms are out of here by largely Tuesday afternoon for Kansas City. And Wednesday looks good. It's a good-looking day. 70 and sunshine, lighter winds. Thursday, we're cooling down. Next front comes in. May see some showers out of that. I don't have a first warn on it. It's not severe. Even if we did have some rain, it's mainly to our south. That one's mainly, let's see if I can even show that to you. Let's see if it pops up. There you go. All right, so this is the next one. Drops in out of the Rockies. It's kind of a two-part system, and we're split between the northern part and the southern part, but the main heart of this is going to be to our south. It just kind of grazes us, so I don't see a big deal there at this point. And then dry Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but 50s that whole time. It's going to cool back down. So that's the story, everybody. Let's see if we have any Facebook questions over here to get through. I'd be happy to answer any that you have. Let me see if I can scroll down here. Okay. Should I even drive into work or just stay home? Well, that's always a personal call. I don't see this being debilitating necessarily. If we had a really high severe risk for the morning, maybe then it'd be a good idea to stay home and say, I don't know, it looks pretty bad today. I think tomorrow's mainly scattered storms in the morning. Good chance that you're going to hit some rain. It's going to slow your commute down, and you could have a little strong storm come in. But I don't think it's going to be a whole lot more than that from what I see right now. The thing with severe weather is you always have to watch. These things change on us, and we get updates hourly. Like every single hour, we're looking at new data. I don't expect a big shift there. But at this point, I think you'll probably be okay to go to work. Okay, let's see if we have anything else here. Go. All right. Okay. Well, that's most of the questions. Let's see here. Do we have bring in the severe weather or just no hail or damage? Yeah, we don't want any hail damage tomorrow. The bigger issue for that, quarter size hail, we get that pretty commonly in Kansas City. You don't want your car in it, but usually it takes something a little larger than quarter-size hail, which is what we expect in the metro if it does get going. Don't want to make it sound like you'd want your car in it, but it probably wouldn't even ding up your car too bad. So I don't see big issues with us tomorrow. Pollen count's high, but this will help. Rain helps and cold fronts help. Sweeps a lot of that out. My truck this morning, I've got a red truck that was yellow from all the pollen that we had. It's just ridiculous outside right now. So pollen count's high. It'll come down. These things, they'll give us a little relief. Okay. All right, everybody. We're going to have updates coming up on KCTV at 10 o'clock, and I'll have new data. We'll have new outlooks. We'll have the new risks areas, all of that to share with you coming up then. Thanks for joining us, and we'll keep you ahead of these storms. Everything that you need, we're going to bring it right to you. Have a good night. Thank you.